Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Give Me Back My Action Movies, the podcast. I am one of your hosts, Dan, and the other host I can see through my little TV screen who is jamming around, is pumped up tonight, is Charlie.
I am pumped, and I'm dancing to our intro music because we live drop it, which is great.
He was pretty stoked for that. He's also very stoked for tonight's episode. Tonight's episode, as you can see, is Nobody, and we've talked about some of the modern movies, and Charlie pulled this one and goes, "Hey, we need to you need to watch this," and I said, "All right." And so I watched it, and we both just agreed, yes, this is what we're doing. This is the one modern movie that we're going to start the modern movies with.
Yeah,
does that make sense?
It does to me, but we've talked about it, so I'm sure a lot of people would think we were going to do like Expendables first, or even the John Wick series. Again, and you're right. It was
which we kind of did with this.
We'll get into that here in a minute, but no, this one to me, because I've seen it multiple times since it came out. It stirred something in me like the old action movies used to, and that meant a lot to me. And when I usually pick up these kind of movies, I'll buy the DVD, and if it comes with the digital download, I just send that over to Dan. So it's kind of a 2-for-1 deal. So I sent him like a stack of them the other day. There's several movies on his playlist now that I've just like, hey, I got this here, take this here, watch this. But Nobody, I had actually watched it the day I sent it over to him, and I still had goosebumps. I still had a huge adrenaline rush towards the end of the movie, and this was like my 6th time watching it. And I'm like, yeah, this means something. This is that whole Close Encounters of the Third Kind moment.
This is important. This means something.
This is important. and it is. And I adore this movie. I think everyone, if you're listening to this show, if you're listening to the show, you've probably seen it, even though my co-host hadn't until the other day.
That's true.
But if you haven't seen it, go watch it. Honestly, go watch it before you even listen to us prattle on about it, because I want you to. I handed it to Dan. He watched the trailer and he's like, "What's this about?" And I'm like, "I don't want to tell you. Please don't ask me. I just want you to go in as blind as you can." And
I didn't even watch the trailer. You said watch this. And
okay.
But you know me well enough. Like,
I do.
I'm a huge like Punisher fan, and not just because Skull and the outfit and everything else, but because a lot of the sentiment behind what the character Frank Castle was all about. So, you were like, "Here, watch this," and I'm like, "What's it about?" And you're like, "Just watch it." And I went, "Well, all right." I could tell by your mannerism that it was like, okay, I just need to watch this.
Yeah, this wasn't going to be, I want to watch Dan in pain, so watch this movie.
I know. I before I watched it to my wife, I said, this better not suck. And then, like, I think it was what I texted you, 20 minutes into it, and I was like, I'm sold.
I think it was exactly 22 minutes in, you sent me a message, and you're like, I'm sold. And
I'm in.
I gave it to you cold, and the copy I actually bought was the Blu-ray, DVD, and digital. So I keep the Blu-ray. My dad's still stuck on just basic DVD. So I handed him just the DVD in a slipcase, nothing else. There's not even a picture on the DVD. And I was like, watch this. He's like, what's it about? I'm not going to tell you. What? I was like, do you know how much we talk about how bad trailers spoil things? And he's like, yeah. I was like, so, okay, freaking just watch it then. Go in as blind as I can give it to you.
Seriously, folks, if you're listening to this and you, I think we told everybody what it was going to be.
Yeah, I drop it on Fridays now.
Yes. So at this point, you know what this is. If you have not seen it yet, please stop this podcast, watch it, and come back. That is the absolute best thing to do, I think.
Yes.
Like I'm so like I obviously you understand there's going to be some badassery in it and everything else too. So you know that going in, it's an action movie. You kind of get that.
Yeah.
But how and why and what and the impotence of I'm very, very glad that Charlie went, just watch the movie, nitwit. Just
Yeah.
watch it.
Just
And
watch it. Just do it.
yeah, so because it was just, when you finally get all the pieces come together, it's just so worth it.
And
So
that's a
yeah,
rare experience
yeah,
nowadays.
yeah,
And this is also leading up to what we're going to start this episode with. That was not planned, but this is kind of organic.
that's
Um,
true.
is and I know we've talked about it, and it's just there's trailers, there's teasers, there's this, and there was a trailer for Nobody. There was a Red Band, and I think I did watch one of them, but
That's what I used for our trailer segment
yeah. But
tonight.
this one was also bounced around from release date that it kind of disappeared from everyone's, timeline of movies that are releasing, kind of like
Sure.
what they're doing right now with Let There Be Carnage and all these other movies that are leading up.
Ghostbusters,
Ghostbusters is getting
Top Gun got
Top Gun
pushed.
got
Yeah.
pushed all the way to next year. And I think the new Mission Impossible got pushed all the
Yeah.
way to next year.
Hmm.
But there is a movie that is not being pushed until next year. That is actually coming out this Christmas. There it is. And because we record these on Thursday, so the trailer dropped today. We want to give our first thoughts on Matrix Resurrection.
Yes. So we knew there was a lot of talk about Matrix, another Matrix movie. What was it going to be, though? Was it going to be a reboot, a sequel? Was it going to be from the same directing team?
Yeah, was it going to be the Wachowskis or something? Yeah.
Right. One of them is now doing this one, it looks
Yeah.
like, not the other. And, I was nervous and curious both because the first Matrix especially, and the second one, but the first one especially, to me, hits really hard. It was a
it's a generational defining movie.
It really is. It's a genre defining, a generational defining. It hit at a very big time in my life.
It hit in the world's life. This thing dropped in '99.
Yeah.
I mean,
so
computers, everything was all anyone was talking about because of Y2K. There was the big hacker movement. And I mean, we even had the movie Hackers earlier on, but that just kind of kept going, and the technology of movies kept leapfrogging, just keep going and going. And then this movie came out and broke everyone's perception on what could be done.
It really did. I mean, you have new technology, the bullet time technology, with the multi-camera work. There's so much green screen, and it works in this movie great because it's fine. You're in a virtual reality world anyway, so it totally works fine for that. So when I heard that they were going to redo this, of course I was very nervous, and I was like, okay, what's going to happen with Keanu? He's older now. Obviously, he's going to be older in this. Is it going to be Matrix? He's going to be young Neo. He's going to be older. What is going to go on with this movie? Charlie sent the trailer this morning.
Yep.
I watched it. I am very excited and pleased because it is almost... And this is going to be spoiler heavy if you haven't seen the trailer. If you haven't seen the trailer for this, fast forward for a little bit. But this trailer shows that it is almost a restart of the original Matrix storyline that you know of. But it's not at the same time.
No, I take it, and again, we don't have any insider information. We watched the trailer.
We're just going off of what the trailer looked like.
And what it's looking like is, to me, Neo went back into the Matrix.
Yes, he got plugged back into the system, and now old Neo. Well, I'll say older Neo. He looks like
Neo.
John Wick with longer hair, because he has the Wick beard and everything. It's awesome.
That's fine. We used to call him Neo and everything he did after the Matrix, so it works now. Now it's John Wick.
It's beautiful, but so it'll be John Wick in the Matrix. You thought he was badass before he was in the Matrix.
Now he can stop the bullets.
Exactly. So yes, he ends up basically being back in somehow, and it's his reintroduction back into reality and the ability to fight the Matrix system. And he soon realizes who he is again, and he has the powers and stuff again. But he also has Carrie-Anne Moss is in it.
Yep, she's back, and she's in the Matrix. She's looks like a normal person.
Exactly. I think she's a barista or something. But I think was that the only person you saw?
That's the only person I saw from the original. Although the first person he's talking to is Doogie Howser.
Neil Patrick
Harris. And we get, and here's, I don't want to do what, like, you're going to find all these articles where they're talking about the new Morpheus or Morpheus redone. I don't think it's Morpheus at all. He died in 3. Spoiler alert if you haven't seen 3 yet. You don't have to.
Yeah, sorry.
But he dies, so there wouldn't be a Morpheus, but there is a character that looks similar.
There is a Morpheus-like character.
My guess is it looks like they're trying to connect Neo's memory or something, so they use someone that would kind of rekindle that connection he had with Morpheus in the training and everything that we see in the trailer. So that's my guess is this guy's kind of a pseudo Morpheus, but not Morpheus.
Yeah, I don't know exactly what the connection's going to be there, but there are a lot of elements in it, like I said, that are homage, they are connecting points to the original trilogy, or if you want to count Animatrix, the original saga, I guess.
Yeah, those weren't bad, but this is going to be movie. They were good. This is going to be movie heavy. I mean, and they show the visuals of this trailer too of the red and blue pills, and it's acting like he's taking this blue pill as medication from his psychiatrist.
Right.
But we know the blue pill keeps you there. The red pill sets you free.
There is a follow the rabbit. As a matter of fact, the trailer's done to White Rabbit. So, you know, there's a lot of homage elements to it. So, you know, I'm real excited for it. I'm real hopeful for it.
I am as well.
I think it's going to be pretty fantastic. That will be a theater movie probably I will see.
I think that one
may be home theater, yeah.
We'll see how things look at Christmas, but
well, yeah, there's that.
But I'm all in. Thumbs up for me. This is our first review of a trailer. I kind of like this.
Yeah.
It just so happened it landed today, and we're going to record. And I'm talking to Dan earlier, going, "Hey, maybe we should talk about the Matrix for a second." He's like, "Yeah, it works."
Yeah, probably. Like I said, I think the original changed the game, for bad or worse, depending on how you look at it. It went from CG, a lot of practicals to a lot of CGIs, to a lot of this. However you want to look at it, I still think it revolutionized the game going forward in filmmaking, not just action films, but in filmmaking in general.
Yeah.
And I think it was revolutionary. I would put it up there with one of those game-changing movies akin to like the original Star Wars and, even like an original like The Wizard of Oz, if you think about it, the colorization of going to Oz and what that meant for cinema at the time and filmmaking at the time. I think Matrix is as important,
it's one of those
Titanic or all these other big milestone movies.
It's one of those movies to watch before you die. It definitely is. It's way up there. So you're getting our stamp of approval, the Give Me Back My Action Movie stamp of approval. Go watch it.
And go ignorance is bliss.
Yeah.
All right, now back to the regular show.
Thanks for indulging us on that, everybody. We wanted to try something a little different.
Yeah, now we're back to the regular show. So, the regular show, we're going to be talking about Nobody. Are you ready for the trailer?
I say let's drop the trailer real quick.
So they took maybe $20 and an old watch? Mr. Matson, did you even take a swing?
No.
Could have taken her, Dad.
Heard you had some excitement last night. I wish they'd have picked my place, you know?
Why didn't you take him out?
I was just trying to keep the damage to a minimum.
Yeah, how's that working out for you?
You okay? Because you don't look okay.
There's a long dormant piece of me that so very badly wants out.
What are you still doing here, old man?
I'm gonna you up. It's been a hell of a day.
You can see that.
For 12 years, I worked for some very dangerous people. Everybody get to the basement.
What is happening?
Don't call 911. I used to be what they call an auditor. The last guy anyone wants to see at their door. Because it meant you didn't have long to live. But I left it behind to start a family. I might have overcorrected.
When you left, you abandoned a certain debt that needs repayment. And your creditor is the winner of your resurrection.
They came after my family.
They stole my kitty cat bracelet.
And you don't f***ing do that. Give me the goddamn kitty cat bracelet!
You look like shit, Dad.
You should see the other guys.
Who the are you?
Me? I'm nobody.
In theaters only February 26th.
So we got trailer guy just telling us the dates.
We didn't need him for anything else. Now this movie,
Oh my God.
we like to have drops on this movie, and we're going to have some still. But this movie, as well as it is written, and there's a lot of good one-liners, there's a lot of good dialogue in this. It is a visual movie. This is a visual movie. It was written by the same gentleman who wrote the John Wick movies.
Yep.
That is
Derek Kolstad, I think.
Yes, thank you, Derek Kolstad. So, if you are familiar with John Wick and not familiar with this, it is Bob Odenkirk as John Wick. I saw one person say it's John Wick meets Home Alone.
They actually make that comparison themselves. I watched the making of videos that's in the end of the DVD, and they say that. They go, it's pretty much when you get to the Home Alone part of the movie, which is when he does the warehouse, and you're like, yep, that's exactly what it is.
As I watched it, I knew Charlie had already seen it, and I'm watching and we'll get to it, but I'm watching the warehouse scene at the end kind of thing. And as I'll just tell you now, he rigs it because he knows that an army's coming against him. He rigs it, and as I'm watching it, I'm going, well, I know Charlie, who loves the A-Team, is losing his absolute mind watching him A-Team MacGyver his ass off to this warehouse. So again, if you haven't seen it, please stop listening to this. Go see it. You need to see it. We don't want to ruin it for you.
Thank you for that comparison to the A-Team. I love that.
As soon as I saw it, I went, Charlie, A-Team. A-Team, Charlie, this is what this is. This is This is what the A-Team should have done.
Yeah. Literally mess people up.
Instead of just shooting sand at you, this is what they should have done. So, like I like to do, I will go ahead and throw out some stats for you that this movie estimated budget was $16 million. Not too shabby for modern films.
Not really, no.
It finally did open March 28th, 2021.
Yep.
It only opened to $6,820,000.
Yeah, just under 7 million.
But you also have to remember we're in the COVID era. A lot of this theater going people just don't do it.
Right.
Since as we're speaking to the latest numbers I have in front of me, gross US and Canada alone at this point is now $27,268,035.
Yep.
Worldwide, and you're going to know why the worldwide I think is much bigger, $55,405,35. The reason I believe that the worldwide is bigger, this is a good guy versus Russian mafia movie.
Yes.
And it is a lot of it's in Russian.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of it is very Russia. It's in America, but it's very Russia heavy. And it was directed by a Russian.
Yeah,
or former Russian, or
no. Well, I don't think you can be former Russian. He is Russian.
Yeah. Yes, a Russian. I'm not going to. I will.
Ilya
Naishulia.
Naishuler. Ilya.
Nah.
Now you're messing me up. All right, Ilya Naishuler.
Nah.
Yeah.
So, Ilya also directed Hardcore Henry. Sorry. Hardcore Henry. So if you have seen that, you kind of understand the direction of this particular director, the way he likes to do things,
High intensity, impactful. I'm only going to correct you on one thing. This is not filmed in America. This was filmed in Winnipeg, Canada.
And
they are in Canada. That's where they are at.
Are they supposed to be Canadian up there in Canada?
The movie is in Winnipeg, Canada. And
that throws me off though, because at one time, and we may be jumping ahead a little bit, but he uses a CIA. Is it CIA or FBI? FBI badge, and
it's an old FBI.
It is an old FBI badge. Yes.
So that's critical too.
It is, but I would think, but my point is, if you're in Canada and you flash an FBI badge, the Canadians are going to be like, I don't give a shit there, eh? They're not really going to care. So why would he have used, so that's what throws me off. I thought it was filmed somewhere in America, or supposed to be somewhere in America. Of course, Manitoba can double as whatever, Toronto doubles whatever. Canada films things all the time.
I mean, I'm sure there's little things that they were just like, whatever. But I mean, all the license plates are Canadian. Everything
like
is.
I said, it's one of those things where I don't even care. It could be filmed in Oshkosh, Wisconsin. I didn't give a shit.
That's almost
where it was. I don't care where it was supposed to be set.
No, we don't have to dwell on that.
But it was not set over across the ocean. It's I didn't pick up that it was supposed to be.
This is suburbia. This is a smallish city, not huge.
Yeah.
But just real quick on Ilya is he is Russian. He wanted to do the Russian characters right, because even he admits, we need bad guys, make them Russian. They're literally the bad guys in the first John Wick. He goes after the Russians.
Very 80s. Very 80s trope. Make the Russians the bad guys. Yeah.
But that's what the action movie guys like. I'll admit that's who I would go for. But he actually there is actually a high concentration of Russian immigrants in Winnipeg, and talked to them. And every Russian in the movie that plays a Russian is a Russian.
That makes sense.
Yeah. So they wanted to make sure that if they spoke Russian to each other, they were speaking Russian. So there are some subtitles in the movie. But if it's a Russian talking to a Russian, he didn't want them trying to speak English, because that's not what Russians do.
They do
speak
not
to themselves like that. So
I've dealt with Russians in my career, cleaners and painters,
oh yeah,
and they will just yell at each other in Russian all the time.
we've had contractors many a times when we
Yeah,
did work in Columbus that we've been around it. But I appreciated that he went that extra, and it shows in the movie. He went that extra mile to make sure they weren't cartoony villains. They're not.
no,
There is a point where you're laughing at the main villain. Matter of fact, me and Dan were just laughing about it before we started the episode because he does this goofy kind of dance, and
but
then
you know what? If
he does the most insane like kill almost in the movie. Not 3 minutes after you watch him do this goofy dance.
Yeah, but you know, if you watch him do the dance, I really kind of equated it with it was a couple of years back. It was a real viral video thing of that guy that would sing like
Oh,
that or Russian
the
dude or whatever.
throat
Yeah, whatever
singing
that
dude.
dude
Yeah.
was. So, but like, so you watch that, you watch some Russian dance and entertainment and pop culture entertainment stuff like that, and you go, yeah, that makes sense. He's up
Oh,
there dancing,
it
looking
fit.
like a nitwit. The music, the lights, and this nightclub that they are in, this Russian-owned, mafia-owned nightclub, and you just go, yeah, of course that's how he dances. That makes
Yeah.
perfectly good sense. It, like you said, it didn't, even though it was funny and goofy and silly, it was not
It was not.
cartoony.
It wasn't
It made
cartoony,
it made sense
and I like it
if you think about it.
that it kind of disarms you at first because you're like,
Mhm.
at first you're like, oh, of course they're Russian, and
Yeah, yeah,
then you're like, okay, this guy's kind of a goof, and then that he actually ends up being like the ultimate badass Russian
right.
that you could ever want to mess with. So I like how it was written for that. I mean, I give all the credit to the writing and the directors, and Bob
Very,
Odenkirk
very
was
good.
even very pivotable. I can't say the
Pivotable.
word.
Pivotable.
He was important in getting this movie made.
Yeah, he wanted this movie made because Bob Odenkirk himself, IRL in real life, has dealt with 2 home invasions,
Yep.
and the character Hutch Mansell, it all kind of kicks off because that happens in his home.
hmm
Um, but yeah, so he was very, like you said, very pivotal
That's the
to
word,
getting this
pivotal.
movie made. Pivotal, yeah.
Yeah. So that that's just some little
Some
backstory
background.
on that.
So, just a real quick synopsis. I'll throw a real quick synopsis out
Yeah,
here
just
just
throw us
so
a
you
fast
can
one.
kind of follow with us. Again, last chance. If you haven't seen it, turn us off, come back. If
Yep.
not,
Don't get mad at us.
at this point you can crank off. All right. So, Hutch Mansell lives with his wife and 2 kids. He is the most run-of-the-mill, mundane, miserable, boring life kind of guy. Gets up, makes the coffee. The wife takes half of it or most of it. It seems like he makes breakfast for the kids. His son doesn't really like him a whole lot. Doesn't have a lot of respect for him. His little daughter does, which is cool.
She
But
loves
then
her
he
daddy.
loves her dad. He runs, he goes out, he runs, he does chin ups. He sees think of his wife. I guess she's a realtor. It looks like
Yeah.
he and the wife are not getting along very well. They've been kind of frigid with each other for a long time. He goes to work at his father-in-law's, I don't know, what is that, fabrication
It's
shop
a
or something? A metal shop?
tool and die
Okay, a tool and die
factory.
shop.
Yep.
He goes there. He is their accountant, basically.
Yes.
He's an auditor for him, it seems like. Um, see what I did there?
I like
So
it.
he does that. He clocks in, he clocks out, he goes home. Boom, 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 over and over and over and over. And he misses the trash on Tuesdays.
Yes.
And it keeps happening and happening and happening and happening. Finally, he wakes up. There's a home invasion going on. It's ends up being a couple. His son tackles one. He goes to just beat the living bejesus out of both of them and stops. And they take off. They punch a kid. Again, it goes further down the tube of less, of respect. And finally, he's getting crap from his kid. He's getting some crap from his wife. He's getting crap from his neighbor. He's getting crap from his brother-in-law. The father-in-law is pretty cool with him. He's all right. The father-in-law, by the way, played by Michael Ironside.
Yes.
Awesome. So, but everything's, just crap sandwich for Hutch. he finally snaps and decides he's going to go after him because he thinks they stole his daughter's kitty cat bracelet, as you heard in the trailer.
Yep.
He goes, realizes that these people were just down their luck. They didn't mean no harm. And he lets him go. He walks away.
Yeah.
We find out that the reason he let him go is because while the female had the gun pointed in his face, he saw it was empty. It was a Smith & Wesson. He could see the chambers were empty. He could see the barrels were empty.
Yep.
So he didn't take him out. This whole time, though, he's also been talking to someone who is in hiding, officially listed as dead.
Yeah.
And we find out that it's his brother, Harry, played by RZA.
Mm-hmm.
And we don't see him. They're like two-way radio back and forth with each other, or he calls him, or type of stuff. Anyway, he goes and he talks to his dad, played by Christopher Lloyd.
Yes.
Absolutely love the fact that Christopher Lloyd was in this.
So
a
happy.
Completely different look for Christopher Lloyd and style of character.
I loved it.
But his dad was an old FBI agent and a badass, and he raised Hutch and Harry. And as you heard in the trailer again, he are you okay? You don't look okay. And Hutch is having some issues with this whole thing, and he looks at him. He goes, "Hutchie, do you remember who you used to be?" "I do," kind of thing. And so he leaves, and he decides he has to go back and get this. He has to find these people, track them down, get this bracelet back. And there's we didn't get a lot of audio from that, but he goes and talks to his dad. At one time, he's getting his dad's old FBI credentials. He tells his dad, he says, "There's something I got to do," and the dad goes, "Then you better go do it." And it just, you get the idea from these interactions of who Hutch really is on the inside, but you don't know still.
Yeah, it's very
pretty cool,
very subtle, but you're starting to understand he's not just your run of the mill
suburbanite father. Yeah.
Yeah.
So he goes, and again, I'll speed up the synopsis and we'll come back to it. He goes, he deals with that. He gets tangled up trying to protect a young girl from these Russian and other just scumbag idiot broski hooligans out there being drunk and stupid. In the process of doing that, he's now got the main bad guy, Russian Yulian, after him now, who is supposed to be the protector of the money that all of the Russian mob basically feeds into as their retirement plan.
The Obshak.
So the Obshak, thank you. So he is now after them, come after him and his family. At that point, Hutch is like, that's it. The gloves are off, goes after him, fights him, kills everybody.
Yes.
Kills everybody, takes over the warehouse, MacGyver's the hell out of that place, kills everybody. At this point now, with the help of his brother Harry and his father David. Yes, Christopher Lloyd has a shotgun and he's shooting Russians. I'll play you a drop in a minute.
I love it.
Mwah.
I love it.
And all hell breaks loose. He finally gets arrested, and he gets out of it. They start all over, and basically, as they're at the end, he and his wife are now looking at a new house. The phone rings for the realtor. She walks up and goes, "It's for you." And he grabs it and goes, "Yep, okay, all right." Hangs up and goes, "Is there a basement?" Because on the initial raid on his family, there's a basement's a panic room, basically.
Yeah. There you go.
Quick synopsis.
That's pretty quick synopsis.
That was the quick synopsis. It wasn't bad.
We'll go with it.
So, like we said, as he is looking for the initial home invaders, I guess. Why don't you lead into this drop we're going to play and kind of, because it's a real big scene.
It is, and it's kind of your aha moment. So like Dan said, that he experienced a home invasion. What you don't realize is there's a reason he doesn't lash out at these people. He can tell they're desperate. He figured out that the gun was not loaded. It was actually a pretty shitty gun. It had electrical tape on the handle, all this other stuff. I mean, and as he's telling his brother over the radio all this, because his brother's asking him, you start putting the pieces together that, okay, he noticed all of that. He is very observant of his surroundings. So he does go to his dad's, and you find out that Christopher Lloyd was an FBI agent. There's a revolver in there. There's some money, and and he goes, "I got something to go do." And he saw the tattoo on the girl's wrist, and you see him doodling that earlier in the movie too, after the invasion. Um, so he decides to go run around to tattoo parlors.
And he doesn't drive this entire time. He rides a bus.
No, he has no vehicle. The wife
Yeah.
has like a minivan. She takes the kids to school. He has a Metro card. He rides a bus everywhere. Again, just this unassuming, normal, mundane,
Vanilla ass dad.
yeah, I mean, completely. And like Dan touched on a little bit there, they really drive home the monotony of his life, and to an extent, a lot of our lives. Not that it's all happening right now, but we all can understand that feeling from time to time. We really can. But he goes out to find the kitty cat bracelet,
Yes.
and he figures out he finds a tattoo parlor and goes down to ask questions. And what you are inferred that he goes around to these tattoo parlors, flashing a badge, flashing some cash, and they give him a yes or no answer. Well, he gets to this one, and we're going to play the drop. And he flashes the badge, and it doesn't work.
No, it doesn't work. So while he's there, there's two thugs, the guy behind the counter, and his old Vietnam vet,
Yeah,
sitting off to the side. And he pulls out he pulls out the badge. They realize it doesn't work. And he pulls out a big wad of cash, like, okay, I'm going to bribe you now to get this information because
right.
I see the tattoo here. You know who this is.
Yeah.
At that point. So that's the lead up. This is the drop.
There are three types of people who, as you say, flash cheese. People who don't know any better, people who are seeking to intimidate, and people like me who wish with every fiber of their being that someone would try to take it from them. Thank you for your service. You too, old-timer.
Okay,
Oh
so
my God.
what you didn't see and what you hear. What you didn't see was the old Vietnam vet, the old timer, sees a tattoo on Hutch's wrist,
Yep.
recognizes it as a military tattoo, and knows that he is the baddest MFer in the room.
It's the 2 of clubs and 7 of
spades,
which is considered the death hand in poker.
Yeah, so he knows it's about to get real nasty. Says, thank you for your service. You hear him say, you too, old timer. He goes in the back, closes the panic room door, locks all the locks. As everyone's looking at him, you can see him through like the peephole type thing.
Yeah.
He locks all the locks and then clink, closes the door.
Slides the little peep slot. And so the two big dudes that have like baseball bats and the tattoo guy that owns the place are all just staring like, what just happened? And they realize if this guy left, they need to change their attitude and give him the information he needs.
Yeah, the tattoo guy goes, what can I do for you, sir? It's like instantly, like at that point, like I said, it's very pivotal because now.
This is the point. This is the point in the movie where you're like,
Hutch is not just a soldier. He wasn't just trained. He is a badass.
He is something else that we don't find out yet, but we now know that he is not someone to be messed with.
He now realizes that the old timer realizes if he would have stayed in there, it would have been this.
Medic! Exactly. Actually, you know what? I think the old timer was yelling something, right?
Yeah.
Leave! Leave! Leave!
I had to. I'm sorry. I love that drop too much.
It was about to get nasty. So, Charlie, let's go ahead and take a quick break real quick here. And when we get back, we will now unleash Hutch
on
the rest of the episode. Give me back my action movies, the podcast. We'll be right back.
Welcome to the Monster Movie Stomp Down, where twice a month we review monster movies from all corners of the planet. Join me, Sludge.
I went to watch it the other night, and she's like, "Why are you watching this? You can quote this movie line for line." That's very accurate.
My co-host, Mark.
Don't ask me to do a stomp down on this because it's zero.
Okay, dude. Ruben, what's your stomp down rate?
And our brother from Texas, Ruben.
It's just, I'm like, wait a minute. They tricked me into watching this.
Yeah, that's what I felt like.
As we give you the history, our review, and the stomp down rating of some of the best and worst monster movies around. Available through the Podbean app, YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Google Play, and Amazon. Make sure and check us out on Facebook and Instagram.
Just how drunk are we gonna get?
Welcome to Good Beer, Bad Movie Night, where each month we drink finely crafted brews while watching terrible films in order to see just how drunk you have to get to enjoy them. So tune in and join Troy.
Kill more crates.
Oh, that was pretty good.
Thank you.
Dave.
I have the weirdest boner.
And Pete. IPAs are ales, meaning they are bottom fermented. Excuse me, they are top fermented. I f***ed that up. Try that again. As we drag Kathleen,
Hear me.
kicking and screaming through an alcohol-fueled podcast dedicated to movies of questionable quality and the frosty adult beverages that help make them tolerable. Good Beer, Bad Movie Night. Clearly, it's the beer's fault.
Hey, this is Jimmy Street, host of the Live and in Color with Wolfie D podcast. Hear the life and times of professional wrestler Wolfie D. From his times in the territories with PG-13 to his times in WWE, ECW, WCW, TNA, and more. Nothing is off limits and nothing will be held back. Available now on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and all major podcast formats.
All right, we're back. Charlie, thank you for indulging me and letting me do those live drops. That makes editing so much more fun.
No, whatever makes it easy, man. Whatever makes it easy.
It does. It makes things so much easier. So when we left off, we were talking about Hutch now getting the information and going in and getting basically, like I said, going to get the bracelet back. In the process of all this, you can see there's an inner fight within him. He was trying to just be a cool dude, but this killer is still in him. And he's riding on a bus now, headed back home.
No, you skipped something.
Well, what the
couple,
the wall scene?
We haven't talked even about him finding the couple.
Well, he finds a couple. He tells them to give me the thing back. They don't have it. There's a baby crying. That part, who cares?
So,
they're eating ramen, whatever. They're poor ass people. Well, I'm just saying, like, they're just some poor ass people. He realized that's what it was. They ain't got the bracelet. He walks out, but he wanted vengeance.
So it's the point of you start finding out as the movie goes that he's this darker character.
Well, yeah, I said that. He's got a killer inside.
No, just let me freaking get to it.
He's got a big killer inside.
Settle down, because I want to point something else out here that I liked about the movie. But anyway, he finds the couple that broke into his house, and like Dan said, they're simple, they're poor, they were desperate. The reason they're desperate is he sees that they have a baby that's on oxygen in the room. I don't know if that was the right drop. But
I know what I hit.
I know you do. It hits him like he was going for blood and revenge. These people were just trying to survive. So he wasn't able to release all that anger and frustration. So he leaves and gets on the bus. And I say this because it's important to know why he does what he does next. And the thing I want to point out real quick is after the home invasion, I don't know if you saw it. You only watched it once. I watched it like 8 times. He goes to sleeps in the basement after the home invasion. He
Mm-hmm.
walks past a movie poster hanging in the back of his man cave, and the movie poster is called A Touch of Evil. And that's pretty much what he is. He has a touch of evil, a very subtle
I don't know
kind
if
of.
it's a evil. I mean,
Eh, look,
yeah.
hey, there
He is able to do things that others can't.
he is capable of doing things that others can't. I think that's a very big distinction.
Yes. Yeah,
That
he's not just physically, but he is mentally and emotionally able to do things others can't.
yeah,
Yes.
he can be very disconnected, and as he describes later, how what his job is was and
Yes.
how cold he is about it. So I think it's important for the character, and to realize other people are probably like, who's Bob Odenkirk? Well, if you've watched Better Call Saul or the Breaking Bad TV shows,
Or from where I know him from, Mr. Show and
yeah.
Comedy Bang Bang.
So
I knew him as a comedian.
well, he is a comedian and comedian writer. This is the first
Yeah.
time he's ever tried to do action, and he nailed it. He
Oh yeah.
he makes you believe it. You feel the pain, you feel the frustration he's going through, and I'm sold. I mean, I was sold the second I watched this movie, and the credits run, and I'm like, holy crap, I want to watch it again. Um, and again, I've probably seen this is like my eighth time watching it, leading up to the show, and it only came out on Blu-ray in June, so that's pretty high rewatchability in my house. Um, but anyway, he gets on a bus to go home, and this is uh I'm trying to think of the right words to put it. I don't want to say beauty. This poetry in motion is the way they did this fight sequence inside this bus.
Yes.
I love it. I absolutely
Well,
love this
and
whole fight
it's
sequence coming
again,
up.
I don't know if I'd have to look it up if the fight choreographer is the same one from John Wick and such, but
It is.
is it okay? The way he sets up fights. One of the reasons I love this movie so much is that Bob Odenkirk's character Hutch is a human being. He's a normal human being.
Yes.
He's in good shape, but he's probably what, 50 in this movie, maybe? The character?
I'm thinking he's like late 40s, early
40s, 50.
50s.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking.
So he's, he jogs, he runs, he's in good shape
Yeah.
for his age and such, but he is still just a normal human being. He could be any of us. So, but he's been highly trained. He's like Batman. So, um, so as he, these idiots get on the bus, they start harassing people. They're going after this young girl that's on the bus, and he's like, "Oh, thank you so much." He does an monologue where he's like,
Yes.
"I pray they get on this bus," and they do, and he goes, "Okay." You could see
Oh,
he's like,
he
"All
is.
right, here."
He's almost drooling. He
Yeah,
wants these guys to get on here because he knows they're trouble. They've
right,
literally like
and
drunk driving and wrecked their SUV.
yeah, exactly. And they get on the bus, and he has a pistol with him. He has his dad's old service pistol with him, and he gets on there, and like you said in the trailer, he dumps out they're like, "What are you going to do, old man?" He dumps out and there's what, 5 of them? There's at least 4.
There
I want to say there's
are
5.
1, 2, 3. There's 5.
Yeah.
The shorter guy is the fight coordinator.
Okay.
The darker skinned guy.
Yeah.
Then the guy that gets his teeth completely broken out is
It's so good.
Bob Odenkirk's friend and trainer.
Nice.
I know his name. Let me just pull it up so I don't mess it up.
Sure.
It is Daniel Bernhardt.
Okay.
He was the guy that did Bloodsport 2 and 3 when they didn't get Van Damme to come back.
That was
So
a shame.
this guy
Big
has
loss.
been in fight movies and martial art movies for years. He's also a fight coordinator, and so they put everyone in the fight scene is someone Bob has had training with outside of the film, so it looked more natural. They didn't want to just throw someone in there he's never seen or fought.
With some stunts and stuff like that. Yeah,
Yeah.
like he was they did a really good job of making this work.
And
And when he
Bob did all his own stunts.
Oh, yeah, he did. Yes, I did see that.
He did everything that I even think he gets thrown out of the window. I think that's him.
He takes that bump. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the thing in this bus fight, it 99.9% of it takes place in the bus. Again, he gets thrown out the window for a second, but he is fighting these dudes, and he's taking a whooping. He's getting stabbed. He's getting kicked and punched. Like I said, he gets thrown out a window and everything else. But it's almost like he's taking it easy on him at first. They throw him out the window. He gets up and you can kind of just see. I get the vibe that he was just like, all right, good. Now we can really get this.
Yeah.
Now I can get things done.
It was because he gets stabbed before he goes out the window.
Yep.
But there's one key part of this whole fight that I love to death, and it was at the very beginning.
Is it when he snaps off the post inside the bus and beats that dude to
I
death?
do love that, but
He beat the bricks off that tool.
What I appreciate, again, what you were talking about, that it's kind of like John Wick level realism. This isn't like a superhuman. When he goes to fight the first guy, he gets punched pretty hard and he slams his head into the sign thing behind the driver.
Yep.
And it dazes him for a second. So it's this moment of, I'm a badass and I'm going to kick all your asses. And then he gets his bell rung and he has this moment of, oh shit. I am not a young man anymore.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? I'm too old for this shit, but he's just ready to go. And you're right. He takes as much of a beating as the other guys in the first half. The second half changes when he changes tactic and starts using the knives that the guys have.
Deadly force at this point, because he was just whipping their ass at first.
Well,
and then they pulled a knife and stabbed him. He's like, oh, okay, that's how we're going to play?
Yeah,
all right, no problem.
Then the last one that's still kind of moving tries to load his gun back up that he dumps out and drops, and that's when he grabs the freaking handrail thing and whacks the
metal. He takes a metal pipe to the windpipe to this dude.
Yeah, he literally crushes his trachea and then does a tracheotomy with a straw. Because he's not there to kill him, and that's another character development thing.
The one doesn't do so well, but
he's still alive. Technically, he still has a pulse.
When I left, he was still alive.
That's it.
So that all happens, and that's what brings forth now the Russian mob, because that ended up being the younger brother of the big bad.
Yes,
and they find out where he lives because he dropped his Metro card.
Yeah,
so they are able to track him back home. In the process of this, he gets a phone call from his brother going, hey, you need to find out about who this dude is. This dude's after you now. And
he's like, he says, go see the barber. And you start realizing there's this whole
network
of people, and he was a part of it because he has a pretty good interaction with the guy that runs it. He was the messenger in 300 that brought the skulls of everyone. And then I know him, I think, from the second Gerard Butler Saving the President movie, London Has Fallen. He was like he led the British Secret Service, whatever they were called. I know him from
MI6?
MI6. So when you see him, you're like, okay, I know who this guy is.
Right.
And so there's a whole interaction between the two of them.
See, I know him from Punisher Warzone.
Oh, that's right. He is in Punisher Warzone.
He's the cop in Punisher Warzone.
Oh, I totally forgot about that.
He's the I think he's a special agent or whatever. But yeah,
he's the special agent. Yeah, you're right.
But he's also in the original Resident Evil movie.
Is he in the first one or the second one?
He's in Resident Evil 2002.
So he's the guy that gets cut up into cubes.
Yep,
with the lasers. Yep.
Yes, he was the head of the Rainbow, recon rescue team or whatever.
Umbrella.
And then he was also Umbrella, rather. Yeah. He was also in Alien versus Predator. So.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
Anyway,
he's
you'll
been
you'll
he's
you'll
been he's
you'll
been
know
in a
the guy.
bunch of the movies that you will probably you see him and you go, oh yeah, that guy.
Well, since you've said that, I've been trying to find
Yeah.
the right time to. We have 2 Give Me Back My Action movie alumni in this
Yes.
movie, and
One of them,
you know
obviously,
one. Yes,
Michael Ironside. Yes.
Michael Ironside from Starship Troopers. Do you have any idea who the second one is?
I was looking at the cast and I was thinking. Originally, I thought maybe it was Billy McLean, but you said no on that one.
No.
I thought maybe one of the Russians.
Mm-mm.
You said no. So, well, it's not RZA.
No, we haven't done a RZA movie yet. So.
We haven't done a RZA yet.
And it's not Christopher Lloyd.
Yeah, we haven't done Back to the Future. So, I don't know.
Connie Nielsen.
Okay, his wife in it.
The wife.
Yeah, all right. She did look somewhat familiar, but I couldn't place her.
She is the wife of someone else on a movie we've done.
Well, I am now looking at her IMDb, and I know what I know her from now.
Yeah.
Obviously, but
well, most recently she's been in like the Wonder Woman movies.
Mm-hmm.
But
she
was
Sandra and Soldier.
That's it. She was Mace's wife.
Mace's wife and Soldier. When I looked at this, I went, "Oh, she's the Caesar's daughter in Gladiator."
Caesar's sister.
Well, the original Caesar, and then then Phoenix takes over. So yes, the sister
of
Phoenix.
Joaquin Phoenix's character.
Yeah, Joaquin Phoenix. Yeah. So yeah, I know. I looked at this. I looked down at Gladiator. That's who she. Of course, duh. Yeah. All right.
I think it's kind of fun when we have little connections like that. And for her, I was like, because even Jackie's sitting there watching it, and she's like, she looks so familiar, and I'm like, yeah, it's Sandra.
Yeah.
It's Sandra from Soldier, and Jackie watched Soldier with me, and she's like, oh my god, it is. I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, it was familiar enough that I saw her and I was like, okay, I know her from somewhere, but I can't place it, and it's whatever. And then when you said that, I was like, that makes sense.
Yeah, and she does it's a very minimal role, but she nails it. She plays it perfectly.
Though. Super important.
It is, and I read that the reason she said yes to a low key character was that she saw this movie having potential to have more sequels. So it would be a continuation of her character as well if she's in it. So I was like, that's interesting. I like that.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. And you said it. I think they are working on one now.
They are currently writing the sequel. I think this one did well enough. Thank God, with all the stuff going on with COVID and everything, that they got the right amount of numbers, and the budget works for this. It made them have to get creative on how they shot things and what they actually did with it and where they shot. And you can tell that when I watched the behind the scenes stuff, that this was a passion project of everyone. This was the director's passion project. This was Bob Odenkirk's, the writers, everyone involved was 100% in. I mean, even to the point where they got Christopher Lloyd to come in and do this. I mean,
Marty, there's Russians.
I love
first he had to deal with Libyans. Now he's dealing with Russians.
Well, plutonium's plutonium.
That's true. So as the Russians chasing him down and they're everything's going on, I'll kind of skip forward a little bit here.
Yeah, we don't have to go through the whole movie.
There's a lot of really bad. All right, so there's a lot of really badass scenes in this movie, and it, of course, like we said, very John Wick esque. For those of you who've seen that, there are some elements of like the Raid Redemption in this a little bit. When they come after him and the family in the house, there's let's see, probably 10.
They take 3 vehicles, and so there's probably at least 10 to 12.
Yeah, people coming after him. 3 survive.
Yes.
And he lays waste to the rest of them.
He doesn't even use a gun till the last 3?
Yeah, and he uses their guns on them.
Yeah, he has a safe room. He puts his
Yes.
family in the basement, and that's this revelation to the family that their dad is not who he seems. So he puts them in the basement. He flips down the light switch, and there's a keypad behind it, and he hits a few buttons, and he looks at him and goes, "Don't call 911." And not the door to the basement shuts, but this metal door, like pocket door, slides across and latches them in. So they're protected in this basement. And he kills the power to the house and he grabs a baseball bat.
Yeah, and just goes to work.
He lays waste to these guys.
Let's see, you got baseball bat kills, you got cooking knife kills,
tea
you
kettle
have
kill,
teapot kills, and then various other neck snappings and
neck snapping,
and
using
then some machine gunning.
Using one guy's machine gun against two of them for sure.
Yeah, 2 or 3
All
at least,
while towards the end he starts kind of throwing his own body into it. So he like gets up on the rails of the stairs with his feet on this guy's neck,
breaking through the balusters to choke this dude to death.
And then he breaks through that. He rolls down the steps. So he shows pain. That's the other great thing about this. It's like, oh God, that hurt. And he stands up and he takes a taser to the neck. So they get the upper hand on him. And they take him to the car because Julian wants him alive. He finds out kind of who he is. So my guess is he wants to find out exactly who he is. He wants to interrogate him, thinking he's probably higher ranking operative or something, trying to figure out something about the Obshak, which is, the Russian 401k bank that he's in charge of watching. And they take him in a car, throw him in the trunk. He comes to and messes these guys up with a fire extinguisher as he punches through the back of the seat. And this is also the beginning of my favorite thing they do with him in this movie.
The running gag.
The running gag
Yeah.
that every time he starts talking about his past,
he starts monologuing to the bad guys.
He's monologuing to the bad guys as they're dying, and before he's done talking, they die. Yeah. It happens like 2 or 3 times in this movie, and I adore.
He just kind of goes, it's pretty good.
You get this sense that he wants to talk about it. Like he hasn't been able to talk about it in years, maybe other than to his brother. So he's like, long story short, or then sometimes he says short story long, and he starts talking about like why he does it and why he wanted to get out. And he turns and looks, and usually the bad guy's dead, just bled out. And I crack up every time I see those parts. I love. There's the comedy of Bob Odenkirk right there. That had to be his little throw in of I need something that's funny without me telling a joke.
There's a few funny lines in this. So as this is all going on, they send 2 Russians to go get his old man father at the nursing home.
Yeah.
And they go in there and it's Christopher Lloyd, and he's in his chair watching TV, asleep with his, his blanket up on him or whatever. And they come in, they go to put a gun in his face, pull back the hammer. He opens his eyes, grabs the gun so his finger is in between the hammer so it can't fire.
Yeah, he shoves his pinky in the hammer.
And then the guys are like, oh, shit. And all of a sudden he pulls up out of the blanket a shotgun and just plugs both of them. And the night watch comes and checks on him, and he sees the TV's up loud. He said, oh, just turn that TV down. And they pan out, and he's got the one by the face while he's like bleeding out, dying, basically keeping him quiet. He's like,
yeah, he's got his hand over his mouth.
Okay, no problem, Marty. And and he leaves or whatever. So like, we know at this point, like, because I'm watching this going, oh man, they're going to go kill Christopher Lloyd. This is going to suck. I don't want this to happen. I'm going to be mad. I'm going to be pissed. And he plugs him. It's great.
I love it.
And then, so he deals with that. He ends up, doing all these other things, and he ends up going. So Charlie was saying this guy's dancing. This Russian's dancing at the club.
Yeah.
Well, as all of this is going down, he comes back and decides to burn all the money.
Yeah.
and
they attacked
destroy.
his house, so now
So he takes it personal.
Yeah.
He destroys all the money and everything else, and then as this is going on, the Russian doesn't even know it's happening. He's dancing and singing and having a good time up on stage, and looks down, and Odenkirk's sitting in the middle of the room watching him eating, a steak or whatever. He's eating dinner, and you can see the look on his face, like, you son of a bitch. And so
God,
he comes down afterwards. He comes down there and walks over to him, and he's like, "Oh, you've got, some nerve to be here." And Odenkirk's like, "Yeah, probably." And everyone pulls guns, and Odenkirk pulls up a napkin to wipe his mouth, and he's got a landmine sitting there, Claymore, pointing at everybody with his finger like on a pull tab, and they're all like, and he goes, "Yeah." So everyone leaves, and he tries to have a conversation with the Russian. He's like, "Look, we can just end this now. This doesn't have to go any further.
We can call it even.
We can call it even, Stevens. Everything's good. I'm going to take off. We're done."
Yeah.
And as he leaves, he's sitting in the car. He stole his neighbor's car in the process of all this. He's sitting in this car. What kind of car is it, Charlie?
It was a 1972 Dodge Charger. I think I got the date right. But
Charlie's a car guy, so
it's
knows.
the car guy. But I'll tell you right now that the motor they say is not the motor that come in those. So I don't know what they were trying to get over on people, but they say it's like a 4.9 V8, and I'm like, that's not even close.
Yeah, so he's got this badass muscle car, and he's sitting in the car, and he's looking through the rearview mirror, and he's got his fingers crossed, and he's like, "Please come after me still. Please come after me still." And they do.
Yes.
The reason he wants them to come after him, though, is that he has bought his father-in-law's tool and die shop. Earlier in the movie, he talks to his father-in-law. Earlier in the movie, the brother-in-law is a real turd, and I'm trying to be good. He's a real turd.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Oh, you need to protect my sister. Here's a gun," and all this other stuff. And Bob Odenkirk's like, "I don't want this gun." He sticks it in the freezer at work, and he's getting to leave. And the father-in-law owns a place, and he's talking to him, and Hutch is like, "I want to buy the place," and he goes, "Why?" He goes, "I want something of my own." And I understand that, but it's got to be a really good offer.
Yeah, this is all before everything's gone to shit.
Yeah, before everything's gone really downhill. And Hutch is like, "I understand that, whatever." And the father-in-law is pretty cool with him. He's actually he's like, "I'm pulling for you. I know you're suffering through stuff or whatever it is."
Yeah.
But he's pretty cool about it. So between the time of him burning down all the money and such, he goes to a pinball machine and pulls out a secret compartment full of gold bricks, like minted U.S. gold bricks.
Yeah.
And he takes him to the place, and the son or the brother-in-law is sitting behind the desk. The father comes walking in there, and I'll actually play a drop for you on this one. Here you go.
I'm buying this place.
What?
That's my offer.
Holy shit. Well, hold on a minute. I get a say in this.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do. Pop, don't. We put our blood, sweat, and tears into this place.
Charlie, sit your ass down.
Listen to your father. Okay. Sit down. Breathe. Breathe deep, okay? There you go. That's it.
But what am I gonna do?
I don't give a shit.
Deal.
Now get out of here.
Oh, I love that scene so much.
This guy who's supposed to be, "I'm a badass. I was in the army. I'm a badass." He's whining about like, "But Dad, this is supposed to be mine." And he takes a poke at Odenkirk. Odenkirk obviously drills him right in the solar plexus. He can't breathe.
Yeah.
He just made him like I absolutely love this, because I love these little stubby wiener having tough guys in the world that think that they're just the baddest ass on the planet, and all you are
a lot of mouth.
Really good.
Just a lot of mouth.
Real good here.
Douchebag.
There's another movie that quotes Shoot 'em Up.
Oh yeah.
About having a gun. And
yeah.
That's what these guys are.
I just watched that the other day.
That movie. I remember after watching it, calling Charlie and going, "This movie is exactly what it said it is."
Yeah.
Anyway, the fact that this kid now is just a whiny little turd, and he gets stomped out. Basically, he just one shot, boom, you're done. You're nothing to me. You thought I was the weak piece of garbage this whole time.
Yeah.
You were insignificant. I absolutely love that scene with every bit of my fiber.
Well, what you're going to find then
so
is...
so he buys that facility and MacGyver's it up. We'll get to that in a second.
But
anyway, yes,
on that same thought you're on, so in watching this multiple times, you start picking up on things. So earlier in the movie, the Bob Odenkirk's son, Hutch's son, is like, I need to interview someone that was a veteran. Can I just interview?
He should have interviewed Michael Ironside. I mean, he was a veteran.
Well,
that's why he was a teacher.
He goes.
And then he got killed by a bug.
Yeah, he was. So Bob Odenkirk goes, well, you can interview me, but I was just an auditor. That's when we first hear the word auditor. And then he goes, why don't you ask his wife goes, why don't you ask your Uncle Charlie, which is her brother? He was a real soldier. And she says that. And Bob Odenkirk turns like, did you just say that? And she kind of stops herself going, I didn't mean that. And so his retort is, why don't you go talk to Grandpa? He actually saw action. Right. So he backhand compliments his brother-in-law as he never saw action. He just served. So it was, go talk to your grandpa. He actually saw action. And when you watch that again, you're like, oh, that was another dig. And this guy is this macho bravado, I served and all this other stuff. And don't get me wrong, we don't have any thoughts of anyone that served, but there are certain types that are like, that's their life. That's what they portray. That's how they're,
and like once they had the home invasion and he didn't actually beat anybody up, he's like, you got to protect my sister. Here's a gun.
Oh yeah.
And Hutch is like, I could have killed everyone. I could have snapped their heads off. I could have shoved one head up the other one's ass. And then I can come find you and shove your head up their asses too if I wanted to. He grabs the gun and throws it like in an old pizza box in the freezer. He's like, get away from me, you little turd.
I feel like I've seen that movie or something. I love that.
I just, I hate people like that.
Well, anyway, we'll quit going backwards in the movie. So
anyway, so that happened. So now he's leading them all back to this facility that, like I said, again, he has MacGyvered and A-teamed the hell out of this place.
Yeah.
He has rigged explosive grenades in the stairwell.
Yep, a bouncing Betty that we learned about and Blown Away.
That's right. He puts a grenade on a hydraulic press that just needs to be turned on to go. He rigs some in the walls. My personal favorite is he has air compressors lined up with tubes that he fills with iron spikes. Rebar spikes, so that when he hits that, they fire off a la the A-Team and impale bad guys.
I love
that one.
I love the shotgun shells wired to the walls.
Yes, that's good.
And to the peephole to the door. I love everything he does in this.
So he's there, and the Russian shows up with, I don't know, 30 people maybe, all with machine guns.
Yeah.
And he takes a shot to the shoulder, nothing big, but he's hiding behind the car, and he's like, oh, okay. Oof,
this wasn't what I planned, but here we go. Yeah,
exactly. And what happens is now the window gets kicked open, and his brother's up there sniping people.
RZA.
Yeah, RZA just sniping people. He's like, remember when I said I wasn't going to save your ass? Well, here I am. And he's sniping people. And then he realizes, and then the door kicks open, and his dad steps out with shotguns and starts shooting them too. And he's like, Dad? And he's like, ha ha. And he's having a blast shooting these bad guys.
Christopher Lloyd has the biggest smile this entire segment of the movie.
Just loves it. And then, so he has a moment as they're now running back into the thing. Again, here's some more comedy between Bob Odenkirk, comedian, Lloyd, old school comedian. Love this.
Wow, you brought a lot of shotguns.
You brought a lot of Russians.
Because he's literally got like 7 shotguns strapped around his neck, hanging there, and he's just like, "You brought a lot of Russians."
They wanted to show
so good.
They wanted to show that his dad had like wisdom. It wasn't like he was just this run and gun. So their idea was, why would you constantly reload a shotgun? It just carry several shotguns.
And he does. It's not, and it's because
Oh,
like,
it's
and I love it
glorious.
too because obviously Christopher Lloyd is 70s or 80s.
Yeah, he's up there.
The character he plays is probably the same age.
Same age.
He's old school. He had a revolver. He had a
Mhm.
6-shooter revolver. He's got shotguns with him. He's
Yeah.
not using machine guns. He's not
Nope.
using sniper rifles. He's not using automatics. He was an old school kind of guy. Pistol, shotgun, job done.
I love
And
it
that's
so
what
much.
he carried into this battle. And
I love it so much.
there is, between all this stuff, the MacGyver, Home Alone kills going on, the regular machine gun attack kills. There's some hand-to-hand work in there. There's one scene with RZA where he's, like I say, he's a badass sniper. He shoots 3 dudes in the head at once.
Yep.
Awesome. But he gets hand-to-hand going with this sniper rifle. And he jacks the dude in the eye with it, basically, and then twists the rifle so he can take the silencer off, pull it away, and now he's still using it as a baton and a gun.
He's got like a silencer, but Billy Club, cracking heads. He also,
so awesome.
My favorite whole segment of him doing that was he's fighting the one guy and holding him back. You watch him really quickly. It's a bolt action sniper rifle, and he reloads the gun in the fight, flips it behind his head, shoots the guy behind him, and the recoil butts the other dude into the nose and knocks that dude out.
It's such a cool move. Yeah.
It sounds cartoony, but it works, and
It's
I love it so much.
Such a cool spot. So, as this is all going down, obviously, the 3 of them end up behind some machinery. They're all out of ammo.
Yep.
The only guy left is the big bad, and he's coming at him with his machine gun. He's like, "That's it, you're done." And everyone's like, "We're out of bullets." Odenkirk somehow has a ballistic shield with him, a clear ballistic shield.
It's he's in a tool and die company, so the CNC machine has ballistic glass in case a tool or whatever you're cutting explodes or pops.
Yeah.
This is the realism this movie has.
The legitimacy of it.
There is a reason for everything he uses to be there, including this blast shield.
Well, he's got it, and he tapes that Claymore mine to the front of it, which, as if anyone knows Claymore, point front towards enemy because it blasts forward.
It's printed right on the front of it.
Right. So he now has this taped to the front of the shield. He's going at the Russian as the Russian's shooting at him. The shield's taking the bullets. He pulls the trigger on this thing, blasts the Russian, kills him, obviously, blasts himself backwards because of the kickback.
Yeah.
And that's how they end up beating the big bad. I've never, ever once seen that in a movie. I've never seen someone tape a mine to a thing and blast.
I have seen people get took out by a Claymore in movies, not real life. But this was so unique. And that's what I love about this movie. And it's probably the most graphic kill we see.
As he's laying there, he's all shredded out.
And I'm just,
it's ball bearings and stuff.
I'm going to say he would be hamburger meat compared to what they showed.
Yeah,
but his face is like half ripped off. It's
pretty good.
It's bloody goodness. And what all we can keep saying is go watch this movie. So
go ahead.
Go ahead and finish it, and then I'll get into what I want to say.
So I was just saying, so basically at the end now, the cops are coming. He tells the other 2 to dip off. He's going to take care of it because this whole time he knows he is such a high-level classified government agent that he's fine. Yeah. He's going to be fine. He makes a phone call before they get there, obviously. He
calls his wife.
Calls his wife, yeah. He goes, and then he finds out that there's a cat in the ductwork that his daughter said she wanted a cat. So he gets this cat, puts in the thing, and he goes on. And then at the end, we see him sitting in the interrogation room, which is kind of how the movie starts.
Yeah, we skipped that part, but it starts with him sitting in interrogation and ends with him in interrogation.
So he's in there, and at this point, the 2 cops are sitting there and they're looking at him, and to me, it seems like they're cops from different agencies.
It did look like that.
One's FBI, one's CIA or ATF or DEA or something.
They don't look the same.
No. And they're sitting there, and okay, so I'll play the drop first because it's linear. They ask him a question.
Me?
Okay, so they asked him. I thought it was a couple before this. They asked him. The lady finally goes, "Who the F are you?"
Me? Me, I'm nobody.
He's nobody because, as classified, his code name was Nobody.
Yeah. She even
goes out at the
goes
beginning. He's
that
nobody.
that's not very much, and he looks at her and goes, "It's enough."
Yeah, and then
they both get a phone call.
Her phone rings, and then the other guy's phone ring, and they both pull him up. They're like, "Yeah," and they both go, "I understand," and they hang him up, and they look at each other for a minute, and they look at him, and he's just sitting there feeding this cat some tuna that he brought with him.
Yeah.
In handcuffs, not giving a single solitary F.
Not even worried, not even breaking a sweat.
Not even.
He's still bloodied from the fight and everything.
Yeah.
He's
You don't
just
care. This is normal for him. He finally feels normal again.
Yeah.
You know,
he,
and there's a
he let that little bit of evil out.
There's a whole thing where the reason he's doing this normally now is because he was sent to go eliminate somebody. This guy legitimately was remorseful, just wanted to live a regular life. He goes and checks on him later and finds out that's what he's doing.
Yeah.
The guy said, "Hey, he knew he screwed up. He really was regretful, just wanted to and Hutch was like, that's what I want."
Yeah.
And that's what he tried to do.
Well,
But
he did it successfully.
He did it successful for a number of years.
Yeah. It was just grating on him. It was.
But it does show you that there's something inside. If there's something inside somebody, eventually the animal will break free. Out. Charlie, would you want to?
Well, I decided that I wanted to wait till we were done because now we're pretty much done with the movie. It ends with him and his wife buying a house, and they're trying to rebuild, and it's
gets a phone call for him.
Yeah, it's this like pseudo setup for hopefully a sequel. I pray we get a sequel. And before I do it, go ahead and play the post credit.
Yeah, it's a post credit scene. Yeah, so it's set up his pops and his brother, played by RZA, are in a Winnebago, basically headed, I don't know, down the coast somewhere.
There's 3 guys, pops. 3.
Really? I still don't believe it.
Well, it still happened.
Why can't we just fly there?
With this luggage?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
The whole back of the Winnebago is full of firearms.
Every weapon you can.
Not just little hunting rifles or anything. I mean, these are machine guns and military grade firearms in the back. And they just have a laugh with each other.
They're just chuckling. So all right.
So
well, that's
so
our
good.
movie. So I wanted to make sure we left enough time to picking this movie and what we've talked about since I started the group and we've started this podcast was the give me back. And then we talked about we wanted to show a spotlight on movies that did that. And this is for sure one of them. This movie gave us that everyman hero kind of feel that we would get from like Die Hard and Speed with Keanu Reeves,
Beverly Hills Cop.
Yeah. You know, and that also that little bit of this underlying badass. So you almost kind of get this Arnold Schwarzenegger in Commando, where he's the family man who's trying to just live a simple life and gets put into a situation where he has to rely on his training and his preparedness. And this is the movies I really, really wanted to be made again. This is the personification of giving me back those action movies that I've asked Hollywood for years. Not saying we haven't gotten a handful of them, but this came out it should have come out a couple years ago, but this came out in 2021.
Yeah.
And this movie, when I first watched it, it was nothing but a straight adrenaline rush for me when I watched this movie.
Yeah, for sure.
I couldn't sit still. There's scenes in this movie where I'm so happy and ecstatic that there's literal tears in my eyes. That I'm just like, when he gets in that car that he steals from his neighbor and kicks on the cassette player and it starts playing that music, and then it turns into that car chase once the Russians decide to go after him.
Oh, the car chase scene. The car chase scene is really
that was straight classic action movies. You can tell that the director, the writers, everyone involved love the movies that we love and want more of. And I just wanted to take a moment to just point that out, that, we love our old school action movies, but man, I want to elevate the ones that pay homage and do it right. And this is one of them.
Yeah, like, so the modern movies, again, like Charlie said, they are out there. They aren't the same. It's not the same summer blockbuster as when Terminator 2 came out, or the summer blockbuster that was like, I don't know, like Top Gun, or some of these other big Hollywood movies that were action centric back then in the 80s and the 90s. That sold I put a lot of butts in seats in theaters.
It did.
Nowadays, it doesn't as much. So Hollywood doesn't make these movies as often, or these style. Now, you said there's a handful of them. Yes, the Wicks, like I said, the Raid Redemption.
Yep. Everything that we're getting from
there's a
Michael
bunch
Jai
of
White
those.
that's doing, and Scott Adkins is. I mean, there are guys out there doing it now.
And obviously, the Expendables, stuff like that. They're out there, but this one here, like I said, you brought this one to me. I didn't really know anything about it. I loved it. Talking about music real quick, the soundtrack of this movie is very good, very fitting. It's got you were talking about Pat Benatar, Heartbreakers, what he turns on.
Yeah, he turns on Heartbreakers, and God, it fits so well with that car
Don't
chase.
Let Me Be Misunderstood by Nina Simone. You've got Pete, you've got
they play
I've gotta be me, the old Sinatra style stuff.
They play It's Not Easy Being Green. Don't they play that during the fire when he burns? Or
I think that's when they're playing I Gotta Be Me, but yeah, I know.
No, the soul. I wish I could think of the guys that sung it.
I don't know which one it was.
I'll look. You just keep.
They play stuff like Straighten Up and Fly Right, The Impossible Dream. I think maybe that's what it is, by Andy Williams.
No, that's not it.
All right. Well, I know they play that one in here too. They play that. They play stuff like I Told Myself a Lie. So all the songs really mirror what's going on with him.
What a Wonderful World.
Wonderful World. Yes. Yeah. They play that. They play, like I said, I Told Myself a Lie. All these things, Impossible Dream, because this is what he wants. And even after years of successfully having it, he can't hold on to it. He can't keep it. He still has to be who he is. To me, that's an underlying, another version of this thing that we see. It really, again, shows, this is, that's who he is.
You get this moment where you as a viewer see his realization that somewhere along this line, what he thought he wanted has gone awry. He has the family. He has a beautiful wife. He has an excellent job. He has a beautiful house.
I don't know how excellent that job is, but yeah.
He works for family. He can. Did you see his office that he's drinking bourbon in and listening to his?
He just punches numbers in the
But he's punching.
But I get your point. Yeah.
But underneath that, my son doesn't respect me. My wife is just going through the motions.
Mm-hmm.
The whole opening of the movie was not just Monday through Friday. They do it over the course of like months. They just flip, and it's just the same routine.
Existing is all it is. He's
Right.
not living.
It's like being trapped in a cage. So we're kind of watching this caged animal see that crack in the cage, and that moment of freedom that he knows he shouldn't. Like when the brother puts the gun in his hand, saying, "You need to protect my sister." He grips that gun like he knows what he's doing. And that was another thing I loved, is how haphazard the brother is with the gun. The safety's not on and anything. And when he shoves it in Hutch's chest, if you notice how Hutch grabs the gun, fingers away from the trigger, his fingers are spread out over it to control, tight to the body. And as the brother leaves and then he grips it when no one's around, like, I know this feeling. I remember this. Almost like this feels good. And then he throws it in the freezer.
A lot of little things like that.
Yes.
The other thing I do want to mention real quick about this movie, and just looking at box office numbers and stuff like this was one of those, it was out in theaters, but it was also, quick to video, home video, quick to on-demand video services and stuff. I think that's what made it the money. I think that's what made the money for it, is the on-demand and the video side of things. So to me, it shows that formula can work. We are in a hybrid situation now where theaters are what they are.
Mm-hmm.
Some people will go to them. Some people won't go to them, but films can still be made. They can still be very viable. For example, we watched Jungle Cruise at home, paid $30 and watched it at home. And people go, "That's stupid." Go, well, we would have spent that anyway at the theater. But if you look at it, it's actually smarter for the production companies, because, okay, we spend $15, $18, $20, whatever it is, on tickets on the theater. That goes to them, but they also got to split some of that cost with the theater itself. The other $10 or $15 goes to concessions and stuff. This way, they get it all. We spend the $30 at home, they get it all. The other thing I will mention there real quick is this reminds me that I have to see Wrath of Man still.
I sent you that digital too, didn't I?
Yeah, I just haven't seen it yet.
Yeah.
But Jason Statham, Guy Ritchie again, teaming up again.
Oh yeah.
One of my all-time favorite movies, period, regardless of genre, is Snatch.
I love Snatch.
Action, comedy, just brilliant, beautiful. One of my all-time favorite movies, period, ever. If you haven't seen it, go see that.
Well, it's like Guy Ritchie pretty much started Jason Statham's career with Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels.
And Snatch. Yeah, please give me more Guy Ritchie and Jason Statham. I want to watch that one really bad. I just want to throw it out there because it kind of popped up on my screen here.
I want to just point out one more thing, and then we can get to our final stuff. I think the other reason this movie grabbed me so much was this felt like a smaller production company, which it is. I mean, it was distributed by Universal.
Right.
But it had that feel that we would get from those Canon movies, that they would just put out a movie and then boom, it's in theaters. And, it may not have been in theaters very long, but they relied on VHS rentals to make all their money. This has
you didn't get that huge media blitz.
Right.
Yeah.
This had that kind of underground feel, and it really does feel that way, because when I'm talking to you or other people, I'm like, have you seen Nobody? No, I haven't seen that yet. I was just talking to Pete today, and I told him what the movie was, and he goes, I haven't seen it yet. And I said, well, watch it before you listen to us. He goes, yeah, I'm definitely. I'm like, so there's more people that are like, no, I haven't. I've either heard of it or I've never watched it. And I'll be honest, I was like that with John Wick. I didn't watch the first John Wick till it was already on DVD for a year.
I watched the first John Wick last year.
Oh, I know you did. Because that was one after I watched it, I kept telling you about it, and you're like, oh, I'll get to it.
Yeah, and after I watched it, I was like, I gotta watch the other ones now. Phenomenal.
Yeah. So I've now learned that I need to at least try it when I see these movies. I need to at least give them a shot to watch. They're not all going to be winners. They're not all going to be nobody. They're not all going to be John Wick.
That's
But
true.
man, when these pop up, it's so worth it. But
Yeah.
all right, man.
Yes.
Let's
So good.
let's do our things.
Our things. Well, let's see. That means this.
Yeah. Body count, body count, body count, body count, body count.
All right, Charlie. This was a lot bigger one than Predator.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
What do you got for us, bud?
This one is surprising actually for the type of movie it is 77 on the body count.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And you know, you go through and you're like, yeah, there was like you said, almost 30 people at the warehouse. We were counting like 12 that attacked his house. We left out everyone he killed when he went to burn the Obshack money. He eliminates everyone in there. Then everyone he kills during the car chase. This guy is a one-man killing machine.
Well,
And
not to mention that Christopher Lloyd had 15 of his own.
Yeah, we count. It was said there was 15 of his, and however many RZA did, and no good guy dies in this.
No.
He takes a shot, and RZA takes a shot, and the son gets punched. Everyone else that dies is a bad Russian.
Send the fans home happy, man.
So body count is 77, and
77.
Glorious 77.
Hey, by the way, while you were doing that, I was just perusing the old IMDb Bizzle for Collins Salmon, the guy that was in Punisher, Warzone, and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Because for some reason, I was thinking that he was in John Wick, like at the hotel or something.
No, he's not the maitre d' guy.
No, I was thinking for some reason. But he was in a lot of the James Bond movies.
The
more the recent ones, he's Robinson.
Daniel Craig.
Yeah, he's Robinson, and like The World Is Not Enough, Tomorrow Never Dies.
Those aren't the Daniel Craig ones.
Those are
Pierce
the
Brosnan.
Pierce Brosnan. Yeah, he's in a lot of those.
Okay.
Yeah.
I need to revisit those. I've seen them all, but it's not been on my like rewatch list. I've probably watched the Daniel Craig ones more because I other than Quantum of Solace didn't really grab me. I think I've only seen it like twice. Spectre though, I was just telling you about Spectre.
Yeah, I need to watch that one still.
Love that one.
I love James Bond, but I'm still a Connery and Roger Moore.
Oh,
fan.
100%. There's no comparison. This is just a modern Bond, and I'm okay with Daniel Craig. He just kind of plays this smarmy badass, and I dig it. It works.
Yeah,
but
he's fine. Yeah,
I
don't have
do
a problem
prefer
with him.
my Connery, and I love my Dalton. I love
At least he's not Lazenby.
This is true. Yeah, you're not wrong about that.
All right, Charlie, let's go to the new and improved, still no music.
I meant to tell you what I wanted to do for that. Dang it, I forgot.
All right, well, tell me after we're done here.
I'll tell you after we're done.
All right, so I have an idea too, so we're working out. But
okay,
ALOT scale, Charlie, 1 to 10, the new and improved, revamped ALOT scale.
So this one was actually kind of difficult, and it's one of those reasons I think we went to the 10 scale now.
Yeah.
There's really nothing about this movie I don't like. There's really not. I don't think I could find one thing that I'm like, I wish they hadn't done that. Because everything fits. Everything just meshes. But I'm going to have to do it at, I think, a solid 9. And it's because I think, because it came after the John Wicks, there is that little bit in the back of your mind going, yeah, that was very John Wick. And they don't hide that. They, the writer and directors know what they're doing. Honestly, they could almost be in the same universe. And
very well could be, yeah.
Wouldn't surprise me if they tried to do that. John Wick being on the side of the underbelly of society, and Hutch worked for the agencies. So it could totally work. But I do still kind of hold John Wick higher than what I would at this. So I want to say a solid 9 Allianz
Whoa,
for
did you just
nobody.
did you attack your microphone just
My
then?
finger hit my little shield thing behind it.
Did you try to hutch that microphone?
That's right, man. I tried the Hutch touch. That's a
Did you give it the hutch?
fanboys reference.
Jeez, Pete. All right, so let me think here for a second.
This is difficult.
Well, like I said, going into it, I'm like, oh, this better be good. Bob Odenkirk, he's a comedian. What's this going to be? And 20 minutes into it, I'm locked in. This movie had a lot of, again, like I said, the Frank Castle kind of emotional vibes of you attacked my family.
Yeah.
That is off the table.
Yeah.
You know, when he says something to him like, you came to my house, you attacked my family, you don't do that. That's a big thing. So that resonates with me quite a bit.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that he is getting older, but can still handle things when he needs to occasionally.
Yes.
I know everyone, all of you and my friends make fun of me for being the oldest 45-year-old on the planet.
You really are. But, I'm only 41, so we're not that far apart.
I quote one of my heroes, it's not the years, it's the mileage. And then watching it going, this is believable to me. Like you said, don't get me wrong, I have the nostalgia feel for Rambo, and I have a nostalgia feel for Commando and those movies.
Mm-hmm.
The big super hulking, I'm a bear. Yeah, I get it. But the ones that I always liked better were the people you could believe. Like, that is just a regular guy who's been trained to do what he's got to do.
Yep.
Die Hard, Tango and Cash, even though it's Stallone, it's still, they're just cops still.
Last Boy Scout.
Last Boy Scout. Yes. Love it. Things like that. Those are the ones that I always leaned more towards. The more gritty, the more dirty, the more F you, F this, kiss my A. All these things, I leaned towards that more. So this movie really did hit on a lot of the notes for me that I wanted.
The Dan checkboxes.
The Dan checkboxes. And then I get Christopher Lloyd shotgunning Russians.
Mm-hmm.
And RZA sniping people. Michael Iron, a big Wilford Brimley looking Michael Ironside.
I know.
And I get a squishy ball having a little turd boy getting punched too. I like that. Made me happy too. So, with all that being said, I'm going to give it a solid 9 as well.
Fantastic.
I think I worked in my head going, how much do I love this movie? I've only seen it once, but I want to see it again already.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't seen it enough to go, 9.5, 10, whatever. I haven't done that yet, but
I have though. That goes a ways,
Well, and I go, is it that good to be a 9? Let me think. And I thought about it. I was like, what other movies? John Wick, 9.5.
Easily
9. It's right up in there. Yep, no problem. Okay. The way it was put together. Yeah, no problem there. The soundtrack adding that underlying emotional connection. Yeah. Yep, that's there. And I was like, I don't want to bring it down any further than 9.
No.
Maybe 8.5 would be a stretch for it back down, I guess. But
I can't think of one thing that knocks it a half a point for me. You know what I mean? There's not one thing I could go, but if you've done this differently.
Yeah, I
can't.
Like I said, I've got that a lot of it's at night, but you can see it.
Oh yeah,
you can actually see it at night. Thank you for the love of all that is holy. Thank you for that. The fighting in the upstarter, whatever the hell it was called, and dealing with the money and stuff. That had a lot of feels of Matrix. Had a lot of feels of
And not the
you
jumping and
know,
flipping around, just the
no, but just the
gunfire,
gunfire, the
and they
fight.
slowed it down.
Yeah, it just
It
you could
was
see the action. You could appreciate the action.
It was practical action. When the
It looked
car flips,
good.
they flipped a car the old
Yeah,
school way
it's
with nitrogen.
and the damage that's done and stuff. I guess the only stretch maybe was him ripping that safety stanchion on the bus.
It was broken already.
But it was already broken. So that's what I'm saying. Like, I could go, all right, he's adrenaline fueled. He's pissed
We've
off.
been on buses
It's
and
already been
seen
hit.
that maybe a bolt was missing out of it. You saw the seat collapse too when he fell on it.
I once saw the box that a fire extinguisher goes in, the door smash into a concrete pillar and explode. I saw that once.
We don't need to talk about that.
I think the statute of limitations is over.
I'm pretty sure it is.
But so yeah, I'm going to give it a 9.
Awesome.
I rambled enough.
I know. It's just solid. Again, I think where the only thing this one doesn't have going for it would be the nostalgia we feel for the older movies. But
yeah, but you know what?
Man,
that's
this
fine.
one. Yeah, that's
fine.
That's why we wanted to do a newer movie. It was time. This one hit all the notes. It deserved to be first because of its rawness, and I hadn't been thinking much about the whole canon type of filming till now when we were just talking, and I'm like, yeah, that actually makes sense. The way that it was a cheaper budget, it was not a lot of high profile actors that demand a huge paycheck,
right?
And you had directors and actors that loved it as a passion project, and it came through, and I loved every second.
Please, folks, go out and see this movie if you haven't
Go
yet.
buy it. Please support these guys that are doing this without hundreds of millions of dollars.
And when you buy it, then send the digital code to a friend of yours who
exactly what I did. Buy the Blu-ray. You get a Blu-ray, a DVD, and the digital. That's 3 people enjoying the movie on, $15.
That's right. And it was fantastic. All right. You have heard.
Yep, we're good.
All right, here we go. My throat's getting dry. My throat's getting sore. It's late.
Medic!
I know. At this point, we get to the point where we like to thank folks. We're going to thank a couple folks today. We're going to thank the Mountain Empire Comics in Johnson City, Tennessee, and Bristol, Tennessee. Diane, Rob, and the whole gang. Check them out on Facebook. They will ship you some comics. I think Diane said once when I asked her.
Yep.
I have to call her. I want some stuff.
Yeah, you do.
And Poster Smash, check them out. They are in the group. If you like their stuff, let them know that
Facebook,
you like
Instagram.
their stuff. There it is. Check out our stuff on Facebook and Instagram. Charlie runs the Instagram. The Facebook group is, how many people is in there now? Over 300.
We are, the action one's 2 people away from 400.
Okay, so check that out. If you like action movies, if you like any kind of movies, especially the older ones, if you want to get in there and call us all idiots, that's fine too.
Yeah,
whatever.
go ahead. We'll let you in.
Get in there, find other people that like these things, and help build the community. It's getting bigger. It's getting better.
It is.
On the community side. It's getting bigger on our side.
And we don't mean our belts.
No, that's already huge.
Yeah.
But not yours. You don't have any ass to hold yours up with. But
seriously, it's like the 3rd episode we've brought this up.
it's a running gag now. But check us out on the Facebook. You can send us an email at Pete, say it along with me, gmbmampod@gmail.com. Check out the Instagram. Get a hold of us. Let us know what you thought about this episode, any of the other episodes you might want us to cover, and be there because you're now going to be the first in the know with the expansion project that we are in the middle of.
Yes.
I don't know how much we're going to necessarily tell you. We will tell you that there is going to be a Gimme Back My Horror Movies.
Yep.
If you listened to last week.
Yes, there is.
You will hear that's going to be helmed by Charlie and Nate.
Mm-hmm.
They have decided on the first movie. They are getting ready to start recording the first episode here really soon.
Yep, we'll announce it, but it will be dropping in September.
So get on board with that. That's going to be awesome. There are big things afoot right now.
Yes.
Things that Charlie and I talked about months ago and year ago. And things are starting to line up. So get on board with us now. Be the first to hear, be the first to know, get on board.
We're not quite ready to announce, but
but
we're
part of it
close.
has something to do with the commercials you heard earlier.
Yes.
We have friends in the podcast world now. One of them, of course, being the Good Be a Bad Movie Night people with Pete, Sludgecast with Sludge and the gang, and Live and in Living Color with Wolfie D and Jimmy Street.
Yep.
Keep their names in your head, folks.
Yeah.
That's all I want to say.
That's our that's our teaser trailer for tonight.
Keep their heads.
And not just that. We've got a few other things
we've
rattling
got some
around.
Mostly air, but we've got some things rattling around in our heads. Yes.
I got a marble.
I got a rock. All right, Charlie, it's about that time.
Leave!
Oh, I knew that was going to be a regular drop after Medic.
Love that guy.
It's so awesome. That's the
Charlie,
best gift Hellbound could have given us.
Yeah, it was one of the few gifts he gave me. All right, Charlie. For Charlie, I'm Dan. Everyone else involved, thank you so much for listening. We will see you in 2 weeks. 2 weeks. Until then, Charlie,
I'll be back.
I knew you'd say that.